Guys, today is the autumn statement, and Jeremy Hunt is going to say that the economy is back on track. And now, inconveniently, who should I make this out to? I don't know. So, what is it? It's a, reality check. Because here in the real world, we've just had a Q3 of no growth, and that follows a previous quarter of 0.2% growth. We've got an ageing population, we've got a labour shortage, we've got parents stuck in their house who would love to be back to work, earning money, generating more GDP, but no, they're stuck in because the little help that they do get doesn't cover the hours per week or indeed the weeks per year that they would need it to get back into the workforce. The national debt hasn't gone up as much as the IMF or OBR thought that it would, and that's good. However, it is still more than 100% of our GDP. And that means there shouldn't really be any money for tax cuts unless you had a shit ton of growth, which I think we've established we don't. So where is the money coming from for these tax cuts? Well, if you read any of the paper's pre-statement coverage this morning, you would be led to believe it's all being paid for by fiscal responsibility, i.e. Hunt has borrowed less than was expected. I mean, it's quite ridiculous, really. It says here, public sector borrowing between April and October was just above 98 billion, and that is 17 billion less than the OBR had predicted. Ergo, 17 billion? Oh, you get 17 billion to play with. But that is like me going to the bank and saying, yeah, I want to borrow 100 grand, please. And then I'm in debt for 100 grand. But then just before I sign it off, I'm like, actually, do you know what? I'll only borrow 50. And that means I'm 50 grand better off, right? No. Maths don't work like that. Were you kicked in the head by a horse? It's like the Tory backbenchers are making it rain in the club because they borrowed 17 billion less than they thought they were going to have to. But it's still 22 billion more than the same period last year. So borrowing is still going up, and it was only 2 weeks ago that Jeremy Hunt said it's difficult to imagine us being in a position where we could give tax cuts to people this year. So what can we glean from this? That 2 weeks ago, he was like, I can't give out any tax cuts to anyone. We're not in a good position to be able to do that. And now 2 weeks down the line, what do you think has happened? Who's changed his mind? CCHQ, the backbenchers, the hard right, have pressured him into agreeing to a series of tax cuts, probably funded by the cancellation of HS2, which, despite their protestations that every penny of that money would go into Network North, was always somewhat fiscally responsibly going to go towards the national debt. But now, not even that is going to happen. He's buckled in a way that could cause a repeat of the mini-budget, and for that, he is this week's tap dancing tosser.